The harsh reality, unveiling the devastation and horror of violent storms. When the skies darken and the winds begin to howl, a collective shiver runs down the spine of communities in storm-prone regions. The formidable power of nature becomes unmistakable, a grim reminder of humanity's vulnerability. Around the globe, particularly in countries like China and Vietnam, the wrath of tropical storms and typhoons such as Yagi and Bebinca has left indelible scars. These natural disasters not only obliterate landscapes, but also irrevocably alter the lives of those caught in their path. A prelude to chaos. In the days leading up to a major storm, there's an eerie calm that settles over coastal regions. The air grows heavy with humidity, and even wildlife seems to sense the impending doom. Fishermen secure their boats, families reinforce their homes with makeshift storm shutters, and emergency broadcasts urge evacuation. Despite advancements in meteorological science, the exact trajectory and potential for devastation remain unnervingly unpredictable. Unleashing nature's fury. As the storm makes landfall, it brings with it a maelstrom of destructive elements. Wind speeds can exceed 150 miles per hour, strong enough to uproot centuries-old trees and collapse buildings deemed structurally sound. Torrential rains unleash flooding of biblical proportions, swiftly transforming streets into rivers and low-lying areas into vast lakes. During Typhoon Yagi's onslaught in 2018, parts of East China experienced rainfall so intense that entire towns were submerged within hours. Witnesses described the wind as a deafening roar, a relentless force that seemed almost sentient in its aggression. In Vietnam, Typhoon Bebinca wreaked havoc shortly after, causing landslides that buried homes and cut off vital roadways, isolating communities when they needed help the most. The immediate aftermath, a landscape of desolation. When the winds finally subside and the storm moves on, what remains is a scene of utter devastation. Buildings are reduced to rubble, bridges are washed away, and once fertile fields are drowned under layers of mud and debris. The infrastructure that supports daily life, electric grids, water supply lines, communication networks, is often entirely obliterated. Survivors emerge from shelters to a world unrecognizable. The horror is not just in the physical destruction, but in the deafening silence that follows, the absence of normalcy. There's a haunting stillness broken only by the cries of those searching for missing loved ones and the wail of sirens from overwhelmed emergency services. Human cost beyond measure. Statistics can hardly convey the real impact of these storms. Lives lost are not mere numbers. They are family members, friends, and community pillars. In the wake of Typhoon Bebinca, entire families were reported missing. For those who survive, the psychological toll is immense. The trauma of losing everything, their homes, possessions, and in the worst cases, loved ones, leaves deep emotional scars that can take years to heal. Children are among the most vulnerable in these situations. Displacement interrupts their education and exposes them to dangers ranging from disease outbreaks to exploitation. The sense of security and routine that's crucial for their development is shattered, replaced by uncertainty and fear. Echoes of despair, personal accounts. Stories from survivors paint a vivid picture of the horror experienced. Li Wei, a farmer from a small village in Zhejiang province hit by Typhoon Yagi, recalls the night the storm struck. The wind sounded like 1,000 demons screaming. Our house shook violently. We huddled together, praying the walls wouldn't collapse. When morning came, everything was gone. Fields, homes, even the roads. Similarly, Nguyen Thi Huang from Vietnam shared her ordeal during Typhoon Bebinca. The water rose so fast. In minutes, it was up to our chests. We climbed onto the roof, holding on to each other as the winds threatened to tear us away. It was like the world was ending. Struggling for survival amidst chaos. In the immediate aftermath, Access to basic necessities becomes a struggle. Clean water is contaminated by sewage and chemicals, raising the risk of waterborne diseases like cholera and dysentery. Food supplies are scarce due to disrupted transportation routes and destroyed crops. Medical facilities, already strained, are inundated with injuries ranging from lacerations and fractures to hypothermia and infections. Humanitarian aid, both domestic and international, often faces significant hurdles. Damaged infrastructure hampers relief efforts, delaying the distribution of essential supplies. In remote areas, some communities may wait days or even weeks for assistance, increasing the mortality rate and prolonging suffering. Economic devastation. Beyond immediate losses. The economic impact of such storms is staggering. Agriculture, a primary source of livelihood in many affected regions, suffers extensively. Flooded fields result in lost harvests, affecting food security and causing financial ruin for farmers. Small businesses are destroyed, leading to unemployment spikes and exacerbating poverty levels. Rebuilding efforts demand substantial funding, often straining national budgets and diverting resources from other critical development projects. The long-term economic health of the region can be compromised, setting back progress by years or even decades. Environmental consequences. The environmental aftermath is equally concerning. Saltwater intrusion from storm surges can render agricultural land infertile for extended periods. Erosion reshapes coastlines and riverbanks, altering ecosystems and habitats. Pollution from industrial sites damaged during the storm contaminates soil and water sources, posing health risks to humans and wildlife alike. Deforestation, both a cause and effect of such disasters, worsens the situation. The loss of trees not only diminishes natural barriers against storms, but also contributes to climate change, potentially increasing the frequency and severity of future events, community resilience, and the human spirit. Amid the destruction, stories of resilience and solidarity emerge. Communities band together to support one another, sharing limited resources and offering shelter to those left homeless. Volunteers from unaffected areas often risk their own safety to assist in rescue and relief operations. International aid organizations collaborate with local governments to provide emergency assistance and plan for long-term recovery. These efforts, while crucial, highlight the importance of preparedness and the need for more robust infrastructure capable of withstanding such catastrophes. Lessons learned and future preparedness. Each disaster brings with it valuable lessons. Enhancing early warning systems can provide precious extra hours for evacuation. Implementing stricter building codes may prevent structural failures. Investing in sustainable land management practices could reduce environmental degradation. Education plays a pivotal role. Teaching communities about emergency response protocols, first aid, and survival strategies can save lives. Empowering individuals with knowledge ensures that when the next storm hits, and it will, they are better equipped to handle the challenges. The role of climate change. While storms are natural phenomena, the increasing intensity and frequency of such events raise concerns about the impact of climate change. Warmer ocean temperatures contribute to the formation of more powerful hurricanes and typhoons. Rising sea levels exacerbate flooding, extending the reach of storm surges further inland. Global efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions are critical. Addressing climate change is not just about protecting the environment, it's about safeguarding communities worldwide from the escalating threat of natural disasters. A call to action. The devastation wrought by storms like Yagi and Bebinca is a stark reminder of the need for collective action. Governments, NGOs, and individuals must collaborate to strengthen infrastructure, improve disaster response mechanisms, and promote sustainable practices. International support should go beyond immediate relief. Long-term partnerships and investments in affected regions can bolster economic recovery, improve education, and enhance resilience against future disasters. Conclusion: amidst destruction, a glimmer of hope. The horror experienced during and after violent storms exposes the fragility of human constructs when faced with nature's might. Yet, it's in these darkest hours that the human spirit often shines brightest. Acts of courage, compassion, and unity offer hope amid despair. Rebuilding is not just about restoring what was lost, but also about creating a stronger, more resilient future. By learning from past tragedies and committing to proactive measures, we can mitigate the impact of such disasters. The journey toward recovery is arduous and fraught with challenges. However, with determination, solidarity, and a shared vision for a safer world, communities can rise from the ruins. The scars may remain, but they serve as powerful reminders of both the ferocity of nature and the unbreakable resilience of humanity.